which Tom is a senior Scientologist. He's single-handedly saving the planet. That is the truth. I'm not trying to be funny. That is what we're told. That is what we're
Right.
told. So if you say anything about him or do something like what Katie did, which was take her daughter and save her daughter's life, she's considered an enemy.
Infuriated in-laws, a powerful church, and a breakup that stunned one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes looked like a whirlwind fairy tale. One date, then an engagement, a pregnancy, and a wedding in just 18 months. But behind the perfect photos, something much darker was unfolding. And now, at 45, Katie Holmes is finally breaking her silence. For the first time, she's revealing the fears she hid, the pressure she lived under, and the truth about Tom Cruise's ties to Scientology, the truth that ultimately pushed her to make one of the most dramatic escapes in Hollywood history. So how did their love story begin? And what really tore it apart? Stay with us, because what Katie reveals will change everything you thought you knew about their relationship. It was a Hollywood love story no one saw coming. The relationship between Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise became one of the industry's most unusual romances, marked by a major age gap, clashing career levels, and a spotlight brighter than either expected. Tom, already a global star since the 1980s, had built a career on undeniable charm and blockbuster roles, from Risky Business and Top Gun to A Few Good Men and Mission. Impossible. By the time the 1990s ended, he was one of the most powerful actors in Hollywood. Katie, on the other hand, was still rising. Known for Dawson's Creek and a handful of early film roles, she openly admitted she wasn't in Tom's league, even confessing in a 2004 interview that she once dreamed of marrying Tom him. Then, in 2005, their worlds collided. Fresh off a broken engagement, Katie suddenly appeared on Tom's arm in Rome, sparking headlines across the globe. Some assumed it was a publicity stunt, especially with both actors promoting new films. But Tom shut down the rumors dramatically during his infamous Oprah appearance. The moment he leaped onto the couch and declared his love, a clip that would follow them forever. From then on, their romance became a media spectacle. The couple shared red carpets, staged picture-perfect kisses for paparazzi, and acted out scenes that felt straight from a classic movie. For Katie Holmes, dating Tom Cruise wasn't just a romance. It was the fulfillment of a childhood fantasy. She had openly admired his inner circle, from Steven Spielberg to Penelope Cruz, and she never hid her ambition to reach the top of Hollywood. So when Tom proposed at the top of the Eiffel Tower after just 2 months of dating, she didn't hesitate. Tom announced their engagement at a Paris press event, while Katie proudly showed off her ring. 3 months later, in October 2005, the couple revealed they were expecting their first child. Their daughter Suri was born in April 2006, and Tom called the moment deeply spiritual, replaying it in his mind over and over. With a new baby, fame, and fortune, they appeared to have everything. But behind the glow of their fairy tale life, a more complicated reality was taking shape: Tom's long-standing connection to Scientology, something he described as essential to his life and success, was about to become the defining test of their marriage. After the whirlwind romance that brought Suri into their lives, Katie Holmes suddenly found herself in the spotlight as the radiant new bride of Tom Cruise, Hollywood's biggest star. But behind the fairy tale images, the truth was far more complicated. As Vanity Fair later uncovered, Katie's path to becoming Mrs. Tom Cruise was shaped by one powerful force: Tom's deep connection to the Church of Scientology. After his split from Nicole Kidman and breakup with Penelope Cruz, the church reportedly took an active role in helping him find a suitable partner. Early candidates included Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson, but both withdrew once they learned the extent of Tom's religious involvement. The search grew more unusual. In late 2004, Scientology leaders selected Nazanin Boniadi, a devoted member, to date Tom, but within a few months, she too was dismissed. Everything shifted when Katie Holmes entered the picture. After she publicly expressed admiration for Tom in a 17 magazine interview, the church facilitated their connection. 7 months later, Katie later told the New York Times-style magazine that falling in love with Tom felt effortless. She had admired him since childhood. But her introduction into Tom's world came with oversight. The church assigned a Scientologist chaperone, Jessica Rodriguez, to accompany her, especially during the couple's European press tour. Jessica's presence was hard to miss. She often answered questions for Katie during interviews. When reporters asked about the public's reaction to their relationship in Scientology, Jessica shut down the topic so quickly that one interviewer assumed she was Katie's manager. Jessica corrected her. She was Katie's best friend, despite having known her only 6 weeks. Her background only raised more eyebrows. She came from a wealthy Scientology family in the Bay Area and was part of the elite Sea Org. To many, it seemed clear she wasn't just a friend. She was there to keep watch. Just days after insisting she wasn't a Scientologist, Katie Holmes surprised the public by announcing her conversion during an interview, a moment that sparked immediate controversy. Jessica Rodriguez, the Scientologist chaperone who had accompanied her from the start, was by her side, encouraging Katie's enthusiasm as she described the religion as exciting, and talked about the counseling and courses she had begun. Katie insisted she could embrace both her Catholic upbringing and Scientology. When asked whether she felt pressured to convert, she defended Tom wholeheartedly, calling him loving, generous, and kind, someone who would never force her into anything. To her, being with him was a privilege. All of this led to their lavish wedding on November 18, 2006, at the medieval Odescalchi Castle in Italy. A ceremony that looked straight out of a storybook. Fireworks lit the sky, and Katie walked down the aisle in an elegant off-the-shoulder gown that designer Giorgio Armani later described as breathtaking. Their guest list was stacked with Hollywood heavyweights: Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony, Brooke Shields, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, Jim Carrey, and Jenny McCarthy. The ceremony included a 20-minute Scientology ritual with vows not only of love and honor, but a promise to resolve disputes before going to sleep. Tom's longtime friend and Scientology leader, David Miscavige, stood beside him as best man, joined by Tom's children, Isabella and Connor, and his sister Nancy. Their reception unfolded in the castle's grand hall of the Caesars, where emotional toasts filled the room. Katie danced with her father to Louis Armstrong's What a Wonderful World, and she and Tom shared their first dance to Fleetwood Mac's Songbird, the perfect ending to a fairy tale night. But even as the world watched a dream wedding, subtle fractures had already begun to form beneath the surface of their seemingly perfect relationship. Reality hit quickly for Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Not long after their fairy tale wedding, whispers of trouble began circulating, hinting that their marriage wasn't as perfect as it appeared. Fans were stunned when the couple eventually split, but the truth is, the cracks had started forming years earlier. By 2010, rumors of tension were growing. Katie, still putting on a brave public face, told Marie Claire she felt lucky to be Tom's wife. But behind the polished interviews, she was only 2 years away from filing for divorce. And the warning signs had been there all along. Whether she sensed what was coming or was quietly preparing for it remains a lingering question. One of the earliest red flags surfaced even before Suri was born. During a Barbara Walters special, Tom proudly admitted he had purchased a sonogram machine for personal use before donating it to a hospital. The revelation stunned medical professionals, who warned that at-home sonograms weren't safe and violated FDA regulations. It was the first of many moments that raised eyebrows about Tom's unconventional approach to parenting. Then came an unsettling story from Leah Remini, a former Scientologist, who described walking into a bathroom during Tom and Katie's wedding and finding 3 women, including Tom's sister and assistant, standing over baby Suri, shouting at the infant as if she were an adult. Leah recalled feeling shocked and disturbed, another glimpse into the unusual dynamics surrounding the couple. As Leah later put it, Tom is very well aware of what Scientology is, very aware that it's an organization defrauding people out of their lives. A strange pattern seemed to follow Tom Cruise's marriages. Each ended when his wife turned 33. Gossip columnist Perez Hilton even suggested the age held symbolic meaning because the Hubbard Association of Scientologists was founded on the 33rd parallel. So when Katie Holmes approached 33 in 2012, many quietly braced for the worst. Behind the scenes, Katie was already preparing. As tensions escalated, she quietly hired 3 law firms in different states and used a burner phone, supplied by a close friend, to communicate with her attorneys. The most surprising part was the prenup her father, a lawyer, had arranged long before. Vanity Fair reported it filled 5 banker boxes, while the Mirror claimed Katie secured more than $50 million for herself and Suri. TMZ reported she received no lump sum, only $400,000 a year in child support and full coverage of Suri's expenses, including medical care, insurance, education, college, and extracurriculars. Whatever the exact terms, the prenup made their divorce shockingly fast, finalized in just 11 days. Some believed Katie's father had foreseen the marriage wouldn't last and crafted an agreement Tom couldn't fight, ensuring both his daughter and granddaughter were protected. Whether true or not, the careful planning smoothed what could have been a messy Hollywood split. As one insider put it, her father came in, fired the security guards, fired the publicist, hired the attorneys. Easy to speculate he was involved. Katie's lawyer later called the divorce a private matter, saying her priority was Suri. Tom's team expressed sadness and asked for privacy, emphasizing his commitment to co-parenting and supporting his daughter as she grew up in the public eye. After so many highs, lows, and strange moments, the world was left wondering, what would the once iconic couple do next? Most people assumed Katie Holmes would be devastated after walking away from the man she once dreamed of marrying, but was she? Her actions suggested a different story. Katie remained extremely private throughout the divorce, but behind the scenes, her life was quietly shifting. 5 years later, she and Jamie Foxx subtly confirmed a relationship that insiders claimed had already been going on for 4 years, conveniently timed right after the 5-year mark of her split from Tom Cruise. According to TMZ, Tom enforced a strict clause preventing Katie from speaking about their marriage or publicly dating anyone for 5 years. Radar Online reported she was allowed to date, but only in secret, and no man could be seen around Suri. In return, she received millions in support, and she reportedly honored the agreement to the letter Katie and Jamie first connected at a charity gala in 2013, though their initial meeting actually happened years earlier when Tom introduced them at a football game. Ironically, Jamie had been Tom's friend since they worked together on Collateral. To keep their romance hidden, insiders said Katie would even wear wigs and hats to slip into hotels unnoticed. Jamie played along, publicly insisting they were just friends, respecting her need for privacy. By 2015, the secrecy around Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx nearly cracked. Katie was spotted at Jamie's surprise birthday party in New York, and sources said she looked completely smitten. Even after a rare hand-in-hand photo surfaced from a recording studio, Jamie still insisted they were just friends, keeping their relationship hidden. Her connection with Tom Cruise, however, had all but vanished. Since the divorce, the former couple has barely spoken and never publicly addressed their split. In a reflective interview with InStyle, Katie said turning 41 taught her to trust her own instincts rather than defer to others, A comment many believed hinted at her difficult marriage to Tom. Katie also opened up about rebuilding her life in New York City as a newly single mother. She described those early years as intense, recalling a moment when a cab driver gently carried a sleeping young Suri inside their building so she wouldn't wake up through all of it. Tom was noticeably absent. Rumors of his distance continued to grow. Tom and Katie haven't been photographed together in more than a decade, and reports claim he has missed major milestones, including Suri's high school graduation and her college search. A source told the Daily Mail that Tom has had little to no contact with his daughter since the 2012 divorce. Tom later filed a lawsuit against Bauer Media for suggesting he abandoned Suri. He refused to confirm whether Katie left to protect their daughter from Scientology, only acknowledging that both Katie and Suri were no longer practicing members. His comments fueled speculation about whether the church's strict policies contributed to the growing rift. Insiders say Tom hasn't seen Suri in years, though he has continued to meet all financial obligations under the divorce agreement, including tuition, medical insurance, and other expenses. When Suri turned 18, his $400,000 annual child support payments ended. Meanwhile, Katie has been the steady parent in Suri's life, guiding her through school and now her college applications. Suri hopes to stay in New York and pursue fashion, remaining close to the mother who raised her. As she watches her daughter grow up, Katie faces the bittersweet shift in their relationship. Proud, grateful, and nostalgic for the years when it was just the two of them. Do you think Scientology played a role in the collapse of Tom and Katie's marriage? Share your thoughts below. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.